It's someone else's birthday, but I'm getting all of the presents. Hey there, today I have an unboxing video, and in this video I'm going to open up the Dark Dominion birthday box that I ordered in the middle of November 2023, and I got it at a discounted price through their Black Friday sale. The way that they worked their birthday box was they released it just ahead of Black Friday 2023, and it was discounted from $100 down to $75. And then Dark Dominion Comics, who you can check out at darkdominioncomics.com, they like to have a little fun with the store and comics in general and selling and everything, and kind of keeping with the theme of Dark Dominion. They have mystery codes where they ask you to kind of browse the store. They'll give out clues, maybe some riddles, and then you were able to choose one of the three codes that you unlocked and apply it to your order. And the codes, I think, there was some monetary discount, a combination of a discount and an additional comic. And then there was a third one that was like, give me 3 more comics, which that's the one I chose. Like, I'll take more. And there was a bunch of different prizes that went along with the birthday box. But honestly, I would have bought it even if there were no prize. So to me, the prize, whatever it is, will just be kind of icing on the cake. I mean, they're technically mystery boxes, yes, but they're almost curated boxes where it's a certain number of open order books, some ratios, but it's really more put together the way that I kind of wish maybe some subscription boxes would be put together, where it's like a set number of expected books, whether it be from a particular age or ratios, or it could be Marvel only or DC only. And if I kind of know the general category of all of the comics in the subscription box, or maybe how it's sliced up the way that Dark Dominion did it, I'd be really open to subscribing to something like that, because it kind of helps the collector and the seller, in my opinion. Meaning, the seller is able to find books that aren't selling, if we can be honest. That's kind of what happens with a lot of these online stores. They have some backstock, and they want to find a creative way to move some of this inventory so they can make room for newer books and collections and so forth. And as a buyer, I understand that. And what I would like is to take some of those books off the seller's hands at a price that makes sense to me. So instead of all of these like mystery boxes or raffle boxes, I would love an upfront, honest subscription box. And this is about as close as I'm going to get to that model. Now, I want to go ahead and open this. And I want to be very clear also, Dark Dominion Comics and we've had a great collaboration. I gave away one of these birthday boxes during the November channel member giveaway, and Dark Dominion shipped the winner their own birthday box with their own prize directly from Dark Dominion right to the winner. This birthday box I purchased myself. I did get the discount, but that was the discount that everybody had access to up until December, when they decided to put it back at regular price, which was $100. So I did get a discount, but that discount was available to everybody. I say that because I am a very loyal and happy Dark Dominion Comics customer. I continue to be. I love when they do these sorts of special curated boxes. I will typically buy one and unbox it here on the channel because it's a lot of fun. I don't dabble in a lot of mystery boxes or subscription boxes, birthday boxes, whatever you want to call them. It's thrilling to find out what prize you get, and there is only one way to find out, and that is to open it up. Okay, here it is. This is the birthday box that was sent via USPS Priority Mail from Dark Dominion Comics. I was charged shipping on this one. Sometimes they'll do a curated type of box or a special purchase, and shipping is included. This one I did have to pay for shipping, but still, when I factored in shipping and the price of everything, the amount of comics that I was getting, it still felt like a good deal. So let's open this up. Okay, I'm excited to go through this. I'm going to put up on the screen real quick just kind of a summary of what the birthday box was in terms of the prizes, the breakdown of the comics that you could expect to receive in the birthday box, and then the odds of not winning a prize. I think there's a prize in every birthday box, but it was the odds of winning one of maybe the better prizes, so you can kind of see the breakdown. Now, at the time of this recording, the birthday box is sold out, and I believe there were 100 that were available. So congratulations to Dark Dominion for selling out of these, and I'm excited. I think I was one of the first people to order. Curious to see what the first or one of the first birthday boxes looks like, and I don't know if this is any indication. I got some trading cards here that said number one spot. I don't know if that is related to like the box number 1 through 100. I also don't know quite how the boxes work in general. Like, do people who do raffles or mystery boxes, do they keep the better prizes for like the last box sold so that they don't really have to give out the big prizes? I always wonder like how that works exactly. So please know too, this was, I think, one of the first boxes ordered. Can't have nothing to compare it to, but anyway, just wanted to mention that. The other thing I'll say too is this sturdy like Gemini mailer. So it's not a Gemini mailer like the flat mailer. This is I call it like a folded flat box, Gemini box. But anyway, it's very sturdy. I actually save these. I love getting these from Dark Dominion, and I will ship comics to CGC in a box just like this. I will do what Dark Dominion does. They just kind of learn from how they ship. They take some bubble wrap and they just kind of very easily put it in the edge here to keep the books from moving back and forth. But it's the perfect size for comics. It also there's a little bit of give, as you can see here, but it's not mashing the comics, but it's just the perfect size for comic books. So I love saving this. It's kind of a bonus. These aren't cheap. If you're to order a bunch of these on your own and keep them, I kind of use it as part of my queue, which is I'll place an order with Dark Dominion or get an order like this. I'll save these, then I'll pack my books up that I want to get graded, and then refill it with comics and then send it out. Okay, enough about the packing and shipping. I want to see what I got in this birthday box. So let's take a look at the Dark Dominion Comics birthday box. All right, so I'm going to leave the disclaimer in there. Yes, I did lose audio and accidentally muted my mic, but here I'm just going to give you a little bit of additional commentary here. So we're looking at Spider-Man 2, the Gamerverse prequel. It's the first appearance of the Hood in sort of the Gamerverse. Kind of cool. Going in reverse order, these seem to be some of the better books. It was Captain Marvel 2, the cover art by Joshua Swaby, and then this was one of my prizes. I think this was a 1 in every 4 box gets a prize from a list, and this was Spider-Man 7, the first appearance of Spider-Boy, the Humberto Ramos spoiler variant. Honestly, I think that was probably the best book in here from a monetary standpoint. Invincible Iron Man number 4, great 1 in 25. Cover art by Art Adams. The Venom 27, 1 in 25, cover art by Ejikure. Gargoyles 2, I had a hard time figuring out what that was, but that's the Kaneheiser 1 in 10 Virgin variant. I forget what that one is. And then Strange Adventures number 1. This was interesting. It's authenticated by Midtown with the COE, signed by Tom King. It looks like the cover is written on, but that's actually the style of the book. And then we have Demon Days, X-Men number 1, the Peach Momoko cover art. That's just cover A. Wonder Girl 2, variant cover by Will Murai. This I had a hard time figuring out what this was. I knew it was Lady Death, but it's actually Lady Death 2 Between Heaven and Hell number 2 from 1995. Great Adam Hughes cover. Avengers 48, Daredevil 25. That's the third print. And then we have Batman Superman number 1. David Marquez on cover art. He did the interiors too. Tremendous artist. Wonder Woman 51, the cover art by Art Germ. Exiles 43, non-key, older book though. Haunt of Horror, Lovecraft #1, that was from 2008. Another sort of non-key back issue. Another back issue, Hulk Nightmerica. Never heard of that before, but that's Nightmerica #1 from 2003. Shang-Chi #4, that has some first appearances in the first appearance and origin of Zhang Li, Shang-Chi's mother. The video's getting way ahead of me now. Avengers 44, plot #1, pretty cool homage cover. That's from 2019, independent story there. United States of Captain America #3 from 2021, first appearance of Joe Gomez in that one. Savage Avengers 6 from 2019, and last but not least, or least but last, Mr. Miracle 10 from 2018. And there you go. That is the unboxing of the birthday box. All right, so here is the order summary breakdown for the Dark Dominion Comics birthday box that I ordered in November of 2023. And what I ended up doing is I took the $15.27 that I paid for shipping, and I distributed that across all 24 comics that was in the birthday box, and then divided 75 by 24 to determine what the actual cost was per book. So while not every comic book in the birthday box should be considered equal, I have to do that in terms of what I paid for each book, and that's how I came up with the $3.76 total cost for each book. Now, a couple things real quick. There are a couple of grades in here. I had to open up the Gargoyles and Lady Death comics to figure out which issues those were. The Lady Death book was actually Lady Death 2 Between Heaven and Hell #2, and when I unboxed it had a little bit of color rub on the back. Otherwise, outstanding condition for that one, but had to give it a 9.6. And then the Gargoyles #2, that was the 1 in 10 Ken Heiser full art variant, and that graded out as a 9.8. Now, just looking at the cover price fair market value of each book, here in column AA, this is the raw value, which is essentially the cover price fair market value minus my total cost in column Z. And you can see for the most part, positive across the board for a total raw value add of over $100. Now, there's a few books that are accounting for 50% of the value add. Here, Spider-Man #7, the Humberto Ramos spoiler variant cover, and that is the first appearance and first cover of Spider-Boy, looking at a total cost of $3.76 for a total value add of $32.24. And then two books over $12, the Spider-Man #2 Gamerverse promo has a cover price fair market value of $16. So that has a total value out of $12.24. And then the Hulk Nightmerica #1 cover price says it has a $16 fair market value currently. While I was researching this book, I'd never heard of it before. It's readily available for $1 or $2 in various places. So I'm not exactly sure if the fair market value lines up. But again, just being consistent and using cover price for that, it's showing a $12.24 value add for that book. Kind of disagree, but the data is what it is at this point. So between those three books, that is roughly $56, $57 worth of value being added, well over 50%. Most of the books adding about $1 or $2. Venom 27 was actually a 1 in 25. Again, $3.76 to acquire it. Cover price has an $11 fair market value for that 1 in 25. Well under ratio, obviously. A $7.24 value add there. So in general, not too bad when you're looking at the average cost per book, but then it really becomes a question of supply, storage. It took me a while to go through this order to figure out what the books were and add them to my value tracking, and was that worth my time to go through that? You know, those are all questions that I have. But what I want to do too is here in the grade column S, I'm not going to bother with 9.4 as Dark Dominion usually delivers books between 9.6 and 9.8. I want to see what these books have in terms of a 9.8 graded potential here. And if we let the values pop in, the question becomes, if I were to send all of these books off for professional grading, would they have value in a 9.8 after I pay for all of the fees and the shipping back and forth to get these books graded. And yes, it would be a positive value add of about $159. Now, for 24 books, that's not a lot. You could make the argument that you could just pick one book from your collection and probably get over $100 of value added if you slab it. So why go through the trouble of having 24 books graded? Why force CGC to go through the hassle? And I would say you're not wrong. Again, driven primarily by Spider-Man number 7. That was one of my prizes, so it makes sense that that has more value. I'm glad that it has value. $96 currently for that book in a CGC 9.8. So it would make sense if that book does grade out in a 9.8 to go ahead and send that in, but I don't think I would send many of these books in. Just highlighting some of the other values. Plot number 1, that homage cover, $70 in a 9.8. $55 for Batman Superman number 1. $56 for Wonder Girl number 2. $65 for Strange Adventures number 1, but that was the version that I got was the signed certificate of authenticity from Midtown version. Kind of an odd cover. It was signed by Tom King, but the actual book itself looks like it has scribble on it. It's kind of the theme of the story for Strange Adventures. Obviously not a book that you can send to CGC. You'd have to send it to CBCS through their verified signature program, and I haven't analyzed the cost of that. I don't know if it's 25, 35, 40 bucks to do that, but probably not a book that I'm going to send in. But if you did have that book raw, $65 in a 9.8 for that. All the other books kind of borderline worthwhile to send in. You're seeing a $4 ad here, -5 for this one, a $2 ad. So a lot of break-even books, and again, it's probably not worth the trouble, especially now in today's market where it really isn't worth it to slab every single book that is in high grade. And my personal problem is really storage. I don't have a comic book warehouse. I don't have a brick and mortar shop to store all of these books in. So to have 24 slabs all collectively worth about $250, it's not worth the storage for me. And so again, I'm not probably going to send these books in. But I wanted to share the values with you just so you could see when you're comparing the price of this subscription box or any mystery box, and you're looking at the per book cost compared to values, does it end up becoming a positive or negative value add for your collection? So I definitely think from just a comic book fair market value, the Dark Dominion Comics birthday box does seem to be worth the money, worth the value. Now that's overall. The trouble is there's probably 5 to 10 comics in here that I would never have purchased myself, nor do I want to keep. And I think that's kind of the hard truth here is that I would say roughly half of the birthday box is exciting to me, it's interesting to me, and then there's another half with very specific issues that I just flat out don't want. And that's part of the risk. I think that's kind of the obvious opinion I think that everybody has in terms of mystery boxes and subscription boxes is that you end up getting a blend of books that you'd like and books that you don't like. And then it's just a matter of when you take the books that you do like, was it worth it just to acquire those? Now, again, this is difficult because I have a very small use case here where we're talking about one box. I'd have to open like 10 of these and say, yes, okay, this is a worthwhile purchase or not. And I understand that. But with this small sample size of one birthday box, yeah, I ended up doing well specifically because of 3 or 4 books, a couple of incentives, Spider-Man number 7, and the Marvel's Spider-Man 2 number 1, Gamerverse, however you want to title that. In some systems, it's called Sony Interactive. A difficult book to kind of track down and find some consistency as far as what the book is titled. But nevertheless, has pretty decent raw fair market value, 10 to 15 bucks for that book. So of those books that I do want to keep, yeah, I think it was worthwhile. Would I have spent $75 to acquire those 5 or 6 books? That's tough because then that you're kind of paying fair market value specifically for those books. I think in the end, the way that I look at it is I try to treat myself to these things every so often, especially kind of towards the end of the year when a lot of the stores are putting bundles together, putting some of these mystery boxes or just curated collections of books, because I think a lot of the stores, again, they want to move inventory. And like I said earlier, I think it's kind of a mutual agreement between the buyer and the seller. Let me help you take some of these books off your hands. I will gladly accept a discounted rate. And then it ends up kind of working out for both sides. I learned a lot about some of these books I had never heard of. So overall, I think as from a learning experience, kind of enhanced my comic book knowledge, particularly with brand new releases or recently released modern books, so that I can better identify those going forward. But I always go back and forth. Is it better just to kind of curate your own subscription box, meaning just buy the specific books outright that you want and that you're looking for? If you're interested in purchasing from Dark Dominion Comics, I would highly recommend them. They are my go-to store for pre-ordering before final order cutoff every week. These books were packed extremely well. I love the bags and boards that they use. They're the same ones that I use, so it actually saves me a little bit money because I can just go ahead and use what they give me instead of having to rebag and board like I do from everywhere else. So I appreciate that as well. Great packing, great customer service. So definitely check them out at darkdominioncomics.com. Thanks for watching, happy collecting, and see you next time.